Hello my beloved Darksiders, I'm here today to bring you a spoiler-free review of Captain America 2 The Winter Soldier. Hence the appropriate jumper. I'm going to try and avoid talking too much about what actually happens because I think spoilers kind of count as everything, not just shocking plot twists. The plot for Captain America 2 The Winter Soldier, straight from IMDb, is Steve Rogers struggles to embrace his role in the modern world and battles a new threat from old history, the Soviet agent known as the Winter Soldier. If some of you are comic readers, you're going to know roughly what the story is. Shh, don't tell them. It's been directed by the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo. I'm not going to tell you too much about the story because, like I said, I don't want to creep into spoiler territory. It's, I think, the strongest story yet. A lot of people are calling it a political thriller. Don't let that put you off. I'm not much into political movies, but this is peppered with just enough superhero awesomeness that you will enjoy it regardless. Another good thing is that it completely stands alone as a film. You don't need to have seen the previous Captain America film or Avengers or any of the Marvel films to watch this and understand what's going on, which I think is a particularly good sign considering that it is a sequel, but it can completely stand alone, which hopefully will bring in new fans as well as pleasing existing fans as well. One thing I do want to point out is the fight choreography in this film is amazing. They've done a great job of it not just being, you know, fists in faces. It's really well thought out, it's really well executed. It makes it really good fun to watch. You're kind of with Cap for every blow, it's awesome. He also uses his shield more as an offensive weapon this time, because in previous, if you've seen Avengers and the first Captain America, he sort of just hides behind it, which is what it's for, because it's a shield. But in this he actually uses it more as a weapon. He bounces it off stuff, he smacks people with it. It's just really good, it's really well done. It makes you kind of want one to smack people around the head with it. It also makes a really cool noise whenever it hits anything or anything bounces off it. In any fights involving him and Winter Soldier, it's really cool because their moves are almost matched in strength and ability, which is fun to watch. Casting wise, again, if you've seen Avengers or Captain America, you are going to know some of the cast already. Chris Evans is back as Steve Rogers / Captain America. I particularly like that they didn't dwell too much on the fish out of water situation. You know, it's hinted at a bit, he's confused at a few little things, and then it's sort of done and over with. He's obviously trying to move on and live in current America. I think in Thor and Thor 2 they played on that fish out of water scenario a bit too much. It was a bit old hat by the end of Thor. In Captain America 2 he is working towards researching his surroundings and becoming a part of them. Okay, so he looks awesome, he's perfect for Captain America, he plays it really, really well. Scarlett Johansson is back as Black Widow and she's got a much bigger part in this than some of the other films, which is good. They've done a really great job with their character in general. I like the kind of bantery friendship that her and Cap have. Just like the sort of attitude she's got. Again, I think she's fantastic in this as Black Widow. I wasn't initially sure of her character in the earlier films, but I've really grown to like her, especially in particular from Captain America 2. We have a new character joining the ranks with Anthony Mackie playing Falcon. I didn't expect his character to be so great as it actually was. Performance-wise he's brilliant, character-wise he's fantastic as well, really great addition to the team, and a very natural progression as well. We've also got the incredibly famous Robert Redford playing Alexander Pierce. I'm not going to say too much about that character, just going to leave it as, guys, it's Robert Redford. And we also have Winter Soldier. I'm not going to tell you who his actor is because that's a bit of a spoiler situation, but the performance is fantastic, especially playing the sort of tortured, confused soul that he plays. It's spot on. He was fantastic. Also, he was really hot. Just go and see it for him alone because he's smoking. And of course, Samuel L. Jackson is back as Nick Fury. What more do I need to say? He's appropriately badass. You also get to see a little bit more of Mr. Fury in this as well. Special effects wise, super impressive. All the physical effects, so explosions, fights, fantastic. All the computer effects, also brilliant. The special effects studio was ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, which is George Lucas's company, which would explain why the effects are so brilliant. Particularly impressive to me was Winter Soldier's arm. I thought they were maybe going to do it with CGI because it looks like it would be quite difficult to have a metal arm that you could still have free movement with. But upon watching it and also seeing behind the scenes photos prior to its release, it looks like it's actually physical effects. It's an actual arm or covering, which is amazing when you see it in action, because I was worried it was going to maybe look a bit cheesy because it is a shiny metal arm, but it looks amazing. It makes me want a bionic arm. Like, why can't I have that? Why isn't that a thing? I'm hoping that on the home release they might have some behind the scenes stuff, hopefully maybe going into how they did that arm. One of the most impressive things to me about this movie is that it has a multiracial, multi-gender cast that are all treated completely equally. They all kick ass equally as much as each other. This might not seem like a big deal, but it really, really is. A lot of female characters are, even if they begin as badass, they either end up purely on a romantic route, or they end up in the typical trope of damsel in distress. But I'm happy to say that in this there are 3 female characters in particular who are absolutely amazing. None of them fall under the damsel in distress trope, and they all absolutely hold their own. Same with Anthony Mackie, the black actor who plays Falcon. They all are completely treated as equal. They all kick ass as much as each other. It's amazing. I can't think of another major superhero movie that has everyone portrayed the same. If you can think of any movies that also do this, particularly superhero movies, then please let me know in the comments because I'd love to check them out. Seriously, this really impressed me. I've got a big thumbs up to Marvel Studios, the directors, everyone involved with making this come to light, that you have done such a great job of keeping everyone on an equal playing field. Post-credit scenes, I'm not going to tell you what they involve because that would be major spoiler territory. All I'm going to say is there are 2 of them. One that comes about halfway through the credits and then one that's right at the end of the credits. They're both worth staying for, so please do. I'm not going to tell you a single thing other than that they left me with a big grin on my face for days afterwards. I'm actually still, the first one is still playing over in my mind because it was so awesome. But I'm not going to tell you what they are because that's spoilers. Overall, I think this is the strongest Marvel movie to date. It's up there for me with the first Iron Man and Avengers as well. I recently saw Thor 2 and found it quite disappointing in regards to storyline and characterisation, whereas this gave me absolutely everything. It left me grinning for days and days afterwards because it was so fantastic. If you haven't seen this already, I would strongly recommend seeing it, and in the cinema as well. It's well worth the cinema experience. If you have seen it, then let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Coming up next from Marvel Studios, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, which is going to be out in, I think, August. I think it's going to be quite a light-hearted affair from what I've seen from the trailers. So that's what we've got coming next, but that is in August, which is a long wait. Leave any comments in the box below. I'll put all the links in the description box, including the website, which is darksidecomics.co.uk, Facebook, which is facebook.com/darksidecomicsuk, the Twitter, which is twitter.com/darksidecomic.uk, because they wouldn't give me enough letters, the Tumblr, which is darksidecomicsuk.tumblr.com, and I also started an Instagram recently, which you can find us at darksidecomicsuk. I've said darksidecomicsuk so many times. Please check those out, and I'll be back with another video soon.